All right, just got done doing the Canton Phoenix open stage. This is Thursday nights from 7 to 10. Sign up at 6:30. It's kind of an outer southwest edge of Tigard, practically to King City. You can see King City from here, right off Pacific Highway. The format is it's a house band that hosts, that opens up, and then it's 15-minute slots from there with a featured act in the middle playing a 30-minute set. And if you want to be considered as the featured act, you need to reach out through their Craigslist ad is one way to reach out and get in contact about that and inquire about being a featured act. It's in the Craigslist musicians community section for Portland. Okay, so the biggest positive, or the biggest kind of unique draw or extra that they provide is, so far of the open stages I've checked out, this is the only one I'm aware of that has a full backline, including a drum set, available for your use. Just asking nicely, they'll let you use the house band gear. That's huge if you're a band that's just getting together and trying to road test a few songs and just kind of throw some stuff in front of people. It's kind of like what you used to be able to do with, say, the Goodfoot, which I think is no longer running a Monday open stage. So that can be really valuable if you're, like I said, a new band. If you are someone who is a little more in the sort of classic rock vein, but want to have a little extra boost, the house band will sit in with you if it's anything that they could pull up a chart for online, or that you bring them a chart, even if it's your original. I actually sat in on bass for somebody with the house band tonight, for somebody where I was reading over their shoulder chart for an original song and then two covers. And the house band is very capable of just sort of rolling with the punches and locking in and keeping it simple and tasteful and kind of making it sound good. So that's another extra for a different kind of player, someone who just really wants to fill out their sound, whether it's for fun or just to hear what it's like. So there were some things that didn't go ideally tonight, but I kind of have to reserve judgment. Now I'm gonna talk about them, but they all come with the caveat that tonight was not the normal host. The normal host was not present, and the house band was kind of covering. So in one sense, you kind of got to cut them some slack, because they may not be, the players who were here may not normally be hosts and may not know the ropes that well. So some of the things that happened probably wouldn't happen. On the other hand, like when I've had to line up a sub for me, I've always made sure to get somebody who either I implicitly trust their hosting abilities, because I know their hosting abilities are solid, someone like an Eric Two Rivers, or someone who I trust gets it and knows the system and can step into my system, and we have a conversation, make sure they're comfortable, make sure they understand what it takes to make it run smoothly. So the fact that didn't happen might indicate that this host might not have made the best judgment in that sense. And I don't know the circumstances, but again, here were some things that didn't go quite right. There was a big scramble for an instrument cable for an acoustic guitar, which is to me kind of this shibboleth or this red flag of, hey, you're running on a stage, that is your bread and butter. Is someone shows up with an acoustic guitar, you got to have an instrument cable ready. There was time management was an issue for sure. Like the house band was taking a lot of latitude with their opening set, and by the time they started running through the list, they were already 30 minutes behind. I was second on the list, and in my set, they're already kind of put me on a real tight leash, a real short leash rather. And so I felt like I was getting cut off kind of prematurely and also real suddenly. Like all of a sudden there's someone standing just in front of the stage, 5 feet in front of me going. And again, as I've mentioned other times, like I've been around the block, I've dealt with all kinds of distractions, and for me that was somewhat annoying but not like unnerving. But for a less seasoned player, the kind of person who really open stages are for, that could very easily be unsettling. And so that was not handled well. On top of which, it was very inconsistent. That on the one hand, they're like, I'm on a tight leash, some other players are on a tight leash. On the other hand, they're not really paying attention to how long this or that player's been on. Other people were going, running long extra songs, or they'd be done standing around saying, hello, can I unplug? Hello, that kind of thing. The transitions to get new players up and get sound going were too long, took too much time. Okay, all of those things, as you can kind of tell, those just might not happen if it's somebody who's a more seasoned host here just handling business. So got to reserve judgment, but keep in mind that was my experience. A few other things. This is 21 plus. The open stage takes place in the lounge. Make sure you'll walk in through the lounge door, not the restaurant door. If you're kind of sick of getting crummy burgers and tater tots wherever you go to your open stage, this is a Chinese restaurant. It's an okay Chinese restaurant. So, but at least it's kind of a change of pace. And you can get food. You can order food from the restaurant to be brought into the lounge. Okay, so bottom line is that the main thing that this place has to offer is that it has a really nice kit, a really nice Ludwig kit, Ludwig maple shells with a Black Beauty, nice, pro quality B20 Zildjians, like A's. And it's a smooth kit, easy to play. I played drums for my friend Richard, the Water Supply. He was the featured artist tonight. I played drums for one of his songs, and it's a nice kit to play, easy to sit down and play. So that's the main draw to coming here. If you're in a band and you want to road test some songs, this is a good spot to come and do that. It's a decent spot to come if you're just a regular open stage player. This is a good spot if you would like the services of a house band backing you on not only some well-known covers, but maybe a song or two of your own. Just make sure you bring some charts for them to give them a fighting chance. Sound was decent. It's not a stepping stone. They only have karaoke here other nights. You're not going to get booked into a paying gig, although you could parlay this into the featured act, which is not a paid gig, but something where you could make more content or make something out of that. Make your own stepping stone, as it were. Anyway, Canton Phoenix, Thursdays, 7 to 10. Check it out.